Culleton breaking away, gives it to Kelly. Kelly switching the attack. And what a fine touch is found.
I think back in the 60s, everything was new. And the only live broadcasting that RTE were allowed to do of rugby union football in those days was from abroad. So live coverage from Twickenham and Cardiff and Murrayfield and Paris, but not from Lansdowne Road, because the IRFU were concerned about the effect live television would have on the attendances. So the match in Twickenham in 1964 was one of the few and rare occasions that RTE were allowed to go live with an Irish Rugby international.
In my own case, it was my first time on a commercial airline. It was my first time in London. It was my first time in Twickenham, obviously. It was a grey, sombre place, I thought. It was the old Twickenham, largely wooden structure. But if it was grey and sombre, certainly Gibson that day, and Ireland indeed, illuminated the place with a fantastic performance.
No win there since '48. Suddenly, everything is different. Mike Gibson's first cap made all the difference.
A beautiful heel by Dawson. Kelly making a break, a reverse pass, and there's Gibson trying to go through. He chinks past one man, he links up with Murphy. A score for Ireland! What a wonderful try by Murphy! Well.
Well, one of the critical early moments, of course, was when Ireland took command of the game. And Jimmy Kelly was a wonderfully lively scrum half, and he had great intuition and spotted a gap. Set up Mike Gibson, and the first great roar of the day went up when Gibson got control of the ball. And at his side was Noel Murphy, himself one of the great stalwarts of the team.
The try was a rather simple one. I think I was more surprised than anybody. I think Gibson made the try, and he seemed to be swallowed up. I found myself in a kind of half a ruck, and some people said, that I got a pass. I actually put my hands out. I think the ball seemed to land in my arms, and I just got through with nobody in front of me, and I just had to dive over and score, I think. But it was lovely to score in Twickenham.
What I remember particularly about that match was Gibson's display and Pat Casey's try, which was stunning and was reckoned to be one of the best tries ever seen at Twickenham.
Coming back to Kelly, linking up with Gibson, racing up to the 20. Beautiful dummy! What a beautiful dummy! 10 yards inside England's half to Flynn, or to Walsh. Walsh running up to the 25, gives it to Casey. Casey's over under the post. What a beautiful try!
Well, of course, the crisscross try was one of the great tries in Irish rugby history. Gibson making his debut for Ireland, switches with Walsh. Walsh goes from left to right, then Casey on the right wing. Casey switches back with Walsh again and goes in under the post for one of the great tries I have ever seen.
This indeed was a magnificent try.